Hello and welcome to White Glove Reviews. In this video, I wanted to take a look at something that I don't know if it's the most useful Swiss Army knife ever created, but if you've seen any of my other videos, you probably understand that I have a thing for gadgets, and this is definitely a little gadget. This is the Swiss Army knife Victorinox Presentation Master. And this is one of the 58mm footprint Swiss Army knives, and it has a USB drive, and it has a laser pointer, and it has a Bluetooth remote control PowerPoint thing. And when these things first came out, they were like $200 to $300. So just, they were the kind of gadget that were too expensive for the amount of amusement you could get out of it. But, well, I got lucky and I found one on eBay for about 60 bucks. And I've wanted one of these for years and I could never justify shelling out the $200 or $300 for one. But I can justify like 60 bucks. So, the package is a little beat up, but I want to show you what the package looks like before I open it up. And as you can see, this is the 16 gigabyte version of it, and it has laser pointer, it has Bluetooth, and it has the Presentation Master, and it apparently has biometric fingerprint security on the USB drive, but I am distrustful of that. So here's the side of the box: USB, Windows 7 compatible, etc., etc., etc. Nothing exciting on the bottom. Nothing exciting on the top of the box. The back of the box. If there's anything you want to read, you can just pause the video. And the memory with fingerprint recognition. I am distrustful of that. So let's open this up and see what all we get with it. So the box and the little clamshell thing. You get some instructions. Oh, I'll include a link in the description down below for the Swiss Army knife wiki page on this knife, as well as the user's guide. And I ran across a couple of interviews or reviews. One was from Wired magazine and one was from some other random place from, like, I think 2010. And I'll include links down below if you want to check those out too. They're kind of entertaining to read. Okay, so you get the instructions, you get a USB cable, and you get the knife, which is kind of exciting. Okay, so let's get this stuff out of the way, and we'll take a look at the knife. Alright, so like the earlier models, this has the USB drive that pops off. There's the fingerprint scanner right there. And when I was reading the user's guide, they were talking about how this is supposed to have some super duper extra special security, and like the USB drive would self-destruct and all kinds of other stuff. And anyway, I am apprehensive about that. I don't know how likely that is to happen. But anyway, that's what one of the reviews said. And this is not one of the ones that has the Right Protect switch on it. Let me grab mine and see. Let's compare. So right here, the actual knife that I carry is an older version. I think mine is a Swiss Flash laser or something like that. It's the very old version with the laser pointer. And mine originally came with like 256 megs of RAM. And I since basically, what I did was I bought a cheap one of the, well, a relatively cheap one of these, and I swapped it out, and I did that twice. I upgraded my 256 meg one to a 2 gigabyte one a couple years ago, and then not too long ago I bought this one and swapped the 32 gigabyte for the original 2 gigabyte I had when I finally outgrew that one. But as you can see, the older ones, you see how they don't have the little Right Protect switch? Like there's a little switch on the newer ones right there that you can flip, and not on the older ones. And what I did when I needed to upgrade it is I bought the cheapest version of the knife with the biggest USB drive I could find, and it ended up being a Victorinox Flash is what this one is. It's basically just the knife and the flash drive and the pin. Alright. Anyway. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look again at this one. So it's kind of interesting. It has a plastic, like this one, the little guard thing right here is metal versus plastic. And again, 16 versus 32. But there's no, I don't see any of the Right Protect thing. I'm assuming they figure that with all the extra fingerprint security, you'll be okay with that. So, in addition to that, you have a laser pointer built into this one, as you can see. And I gotta tell you, the keys that I normally carry on a day, like my work keys, I have a laser pointer on mine, and a laser pointer is not the kind of thing that you necessarily need all the time, but it's nice to have it's nice to have available if you randomly need it. And again, you have the pin. So let's see what else we got. This is the interesting part. The Bluetooth PowerPoint like ahead and back buttons, which I'm tempted to. I kind of want to try them out, but I don't really know how useful they are. But you know, if you do a lot of presentations, maybe they would have definitely been useful like 7 years ago. An interesting thing about this one is if you look at here's another one of the laser ones. If you look at this is the I think this one is a Swiss flash laser or a Swiss memory laser. It's one of those versions. But if you look, one of the scales has the battery and the laser pointer in it, and on the back it has the scale has the extendable pin. And with this one, you have the scale with the battery and the PowerPoint mouse, or the PowerPoint presenter thing, and you have the scale with the laser in it. So it's kind of interesting that this particular Swiss Army knife has two scales, has a battery on one side and it has a battery on the other. So this may have the most batteries of any Swiss Army knife ever. And if you want to change the batteries, if you ever had to deal with one of these, all you do is there's a little hole right there, and all you do is you stick like a little pin through the hole, and there's a door that opens up and the battery will just slide out and you can slide in another battery. So let's see. This has the usual tools you expect. It has the little knife blade, and it has the file on one side. Ew. What is that? Well, sometimes life is truly tough when you open things with white gloves. It kind of smells like oil. Maybe it's just... doesn't look like rust or anything. Anyway, I'll definitely clean this out before I put it back. And you have the scissors on the other side. And get them out. You have the standard tools of the Swiss Army Knife Classics. There was a version of this that was airline friendly that didn't have the blades, and it was kind of just the USB drive and the things on the ends. But really and truly, if you're going to get something like this, you might as well just get the full package. I'm going to have to clean that out, make sure. I hope it was just some kind of oil or something. Yeah. It smells like some kind of oil. But it's hard on the white gloves. So Anyway, I'll leave links in the description if you want to check out more about this particular knife. And as you can see, these particular models of the Swiss Memory and Swiss Flash and the Presentation Master, they all have interchangeable USB drives that click in. So if you want to use one versus the other, you can. There are also some slim USB drives for some of the little Victorinox USB drives, and those will fit in here, but you'll have a gap, and you can almost put two of the slim ones in here. The problem with putting two of the slim ones in here is I tried to do it at one point, and I decided I didn't want to file down my knife to make it work. There's a little plastic like piece right there that interferes with them both fitting in, with the closing with both of them in it. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed taking a look at this kind of unusual entry from Victorinox. And I don't know if it's... I don't think this thing was worth like $300, but it's definitely worth, you know, 50 or 60 bucks if you can find one cheap, just for the cool factor of it. And I'm thinking I'm going to try and see if I can get this to actually work with the laptop. I may have to do a PowerPoint presentation just so I can use this. Anyway, if you have any suggestions, or if there's anything you'd like to see me review, you can leave a comment down below. And if you have any questions or suggestions, also leave a comment. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I hope you have an excellent day.